Okay, guys. So these are the answers to the questions I asked you guys to do from the last video. For 6, you should have gotten x to be 6, x to be -3, and then for number 8, you guys got n to be -8 and n to be -3. If you guys did not get that, just raise your hand so I can help you guys out, so we can talk more and more about this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just kind of jump ahead. We're going to look at question 9. Question 9 looks like this. I have 7n squared plus 6 equals 43n. So if I were to compare this to the last question, I notice right here that I have one side being 0. Okay? Well, when I look at this question, I don't have one side to be 0. So here's something to write down and something to know. Whenever you solve a quadratic by factoring, always get one side to equal 0. So that's important to know. So when I look at this problem right here, I need to get 0 on this side. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 43n from both sides. Okay? So I get 7n squared minus 43n plus 6 equals 0 to be the factored form. Or that's the standard form. Okay? Well, now I'm just going to factor it out. So lots of ways I can do this. I know a lot of you guys might make a box. Some of you guys do guess and check. So I'm going to do build a bridge, split the middle, because I know some of you guys do that. So 7 times 6 is 42. And I'm trying to think about everything that I can get that gets me 42, but a sum of -43. So if I think about it, 42 and 1, 6 and 7, 14 and 3. Because the sum is negative, I know that all those have to be negative. Okay, -2, and I think -21. There's a lot other ones. But what I notice right here when I look at -42 and -1, that sum is -43n. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 7n squared here, minus 6 here. Then I got -42n, and then minus 1n. And what we remember, what we talked about is we factor out the greatest common factor of each row and each column. So between those two, 7n squared, or 7n is the greatest common factor. Between those two, -1 is the greatest common factor. Um, between those two, I just have an n, and then between those two, -6 is my greatest common factor. So right now, my factored form is 7n minus 1, and then n minus 6 equals 0. So if you guys remember, what do? We set each of these equal to 0. So I'm going to set 7n minus 1 equal to 0, n minus 6 equal to 0. Then we'll just add 1, add 1. So I got 7n to be 1. Divide both sides by 7. I get n to be 1/7. Add 6, add 6. You get n to be 6. So the two solutions are 1/7 and 6. Okay? Let's try one more with you guys. All right, so I got 3a squared plus 13a plus 56. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys is if I want to always keep a squared positive. Try to keep ax squared positive. It's going to make your life easier, okay, when we solve this. So what I'm going to do is even though there's more stuff on the right side as opposed to the left, I'm going to subtract 13a from both sides. So I got 3a squared minus 13a equals 56, and then I'm going to subtract 56 to get one side to be 0. So I got 3a squared minus 13a minus 56 equals 0. And then we're going to build a bridge, split the middle. 3 times -56 is -168. So I got one positive, one negative. Okay. So -168. What gets me -168? Well, let's see here. If I take negative 8 and 21, that sum is 13. So if I think about negative 21 and 8, that sum is negative 13. So that's what I'm going to work with here. Okay, so in my box, I'm going to put 3a squared minus 56. I'm going to put minus 21a, and I'm going to put minus 13a. Or no, minus, sorry, plus 8a. All right, so each row, each column, I factor out the greatest common factor. 3a is the greatest common factor there. 8 is the greatest common factor there. A is the greatest common factor between these two. And I think negative 7 is the greatest common factor there. So that leaves me with 3a plus 8 times a minus 7 equals 0. So I got 3a plus 8 equals 0. A minus 7 equal to 0. So I get a to be 7 there. Subtract 8. Subtract 8. So I got 3a equals negative 8. You get a to equal negative 8 thirds. So you got a to be negative 8 thirds and a to be positive 7. When I ask you guys to try the next few questions for me, the answer key is on my website, but please do not look at it until you are done. Thanks, guys.